Okay, so can everyone hear me? I have prepared a presentation. I hope it will not take much of you guys' time, and it's only 540 slides. It's very, very short. I was investigating and I saw that the site that I was working on had two main buildings that already were built there. As we all know, presentations have changed for all of us this past year. What used to be a once every 6 month kind of thing now has turned into a daily dread for every one of us. Uncomfortable noises, sleep deprived faces, and long hours are now a part of our daily meetings. That is why in this video I want to talk about how we as architects can improve our presentations in the digital realm. So I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity, but more on this later. Now, I don't necessarily want to talk about the typical things that you would hear in these type of videos. So I suppose you have all heard it before, but just in case you are wondering, what are some general things that you can improve in your presentation regardless of being in architecture or not? Here are some very quick tips that I recommend. So first, improve your lighting. Don't have a big light behind you, and maybe stand next to a window so you will have natural light all over your face. Second, have quality sound. Even if you have the greatest quality camera, no one is going to stand a whole presentation with bad sound. So make sure there isn't any noise around when talking. Speak close to the microphone, but not so close that you sound like a serial killer on the phone. And try to show your hands. The majority of cameras crop a lot of the view and only show the head of the person. But if possible, try to back away from the camera a bit so your hands are seen and visible. When people see your hand gestures, this makes it a lot more interactive, less boring, and people can see a lot of things different from your face. So you can see your hands, they can see your torso, etc. So this is a little bit more exciting. So those are just some very quick tips for general presentations, even if they're architecture or not. That is what I recommend. But now let's dive deep into architectural related presentations and how you can improve them. So let's start. So watch out for your blacks and your whites. So I have talked about this before in the past. Just like you, we are all staring at screens all day, and eventually we get very, very tired from straining our eyes so much. So if you create presentations that are damaging for people's eyes, that can result in people lowering the brightness of the screen or even squinting to see what you're talking about or what you're showing. So a quick fix for this is to consider your presentation colors. Sorry, my cat. Oh, Baco, come on. Are you serious? So normally we work with either a black background or a white background. We choose the default black or the default white. What I recommend is just changing it a little bit and doing an off-white or an off-black. That way the brightness will not be as intense and your content will be much more appreciated. And the same goes for black backgrounds. If you have an all black background, not only will it strain the viewer's eyes, but it will also prevent them from seeing valuable details in your plans. So always go off black or off white. Also, if possible, don't pick background colors with intense color. This will make things worse. Try to make faded versions of the colors you want or less saturated and highlighted ones. Next, including presentation boards. So for the whole semester, you worked in a project and the teacher asked you to create a presentation board. That would be very, very normal. One day before, and you decide to include this presentation board inside of your PowerPoint presentation. But guess what? Your presentation board, it was 1 meter by 70 centimeters, and your screen, the screen that everyone is viewing this on, is much smaller. So all the details, all the effort that you put in every single image will not be visible at all for other people in their computers. Not everyone has this ultra wide gigantic screen so they can see your presentation board in real size. People will see it in very, very small diminished size. That is why I recommend to deconstruct and decompose your presentation boards. Although it's not bad to actually create the presentation boards, but it's better to adapt it to a PowerPoint presentation So I would recommend creating various slides where you zoom in on the key points in the presentation boards and have the board in a miniature size near the right or the left side. That way people can know where it is in the presentation board and what it is actually about. So more videos and animations. Even though some images and diagrams are very, very fun to look at, are very interesting, when you see hundreds and hundreds of them, they can get very boring very fast. So what I recommend is just animating your images, animating your videos, animating everything. Many of us can get a bit scared when we hear the word animation because it's not something that we do in our day-to-day, but it doesn't have to be something so complicated. You don't necessarily have to learn After Effects or, you know, just dedicate hours and hours to animating. No, this can be some very quick animation things, like for example just zooming in on the image, then instead of it just having it there for 5 to 10 seconds, and also maybe animating your text and animating some parts of diagrams that are relevant for people to understand or that you want to emphasize on. If you would want to see a tutorial on this, comment down below or check out our previous tutorials in animating in After Effects. So it's also important that you maybe want to avoid cliche animations. So sometimes PowerPoint can come with these default animations that can be very flashy and sometimes don't look very good. So try to avoid these kind of animations and these overpowering transitions and options in PowerPoint, and just stick to a very subtle, very minimal animation style. Another fast way of learning to animate and creating nice illustrations is by using the Skillshare class by Manon Luard called Animate Your Illustrations with After Effects. Although she teaches it over a non-architectural illustration, there are principles that can also be applied to architecture illustrations, diagrams, render, and more. And this is where I want to talk about the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. And Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people, exploring new skills, deepening existing passions, and getting lost in creativity. You can learn literally anything in Skillshare, from illustration, graphic design, animation, all over to productivity hacks and photography. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes. So you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. So the first 1,000 people of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of a premium membership so you can explore your creativity. So in case you're interested, the link is down below. Thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now we go on over to our next point, which is visually aesthetic. So just try to be as simple as possible. Pick one background color for your normal slides and one highlight color maybe for your chapter slides, one typography for titles, and one for normal text, and nothing else. Set yourself these rules, these boundaries, and stick to them. Your presentation slides will look much better. And also try to make your images the same size, even if it means sacrificing some space or some important information in some images. Try to make them the same size, the same ratio, so you can have a slide format and everyone will understand that the images maybe go on the left or go on the right, or maybe are full screen images. And also try to keep it as short as possible. If you have a content slide divided into 4 parts, where first you highlight the theme, then the chapter, and then the actual topic, it can get really boring. Go straight to the point. If you design your slide well, everyone will understand that it is part of a chapter or a main theme. Stop creating these sub-menus, these slides for everything, because it can get very tiring. And finally, detailed plans. Don't add detailed plans to your presentation. Instead, segment them and zoom in. So if you need to present a very detailed floor plan, for example, then present the floor plan. Then in the next slides, make a series of crops or zooms into various areas. That way everyone understands what is the detail that you have in those floor plans. But don't expect everyone to try to understand the whole floor plan, the dimensions and the details, just from looking at a very condensed and maybe a little bit too condensed floor plan in a very small screen. Okay, so to recap, remember, first we need to use off blacks and off whites. Don't use the true colors and don't use too intense colors. Just a little bit of a muted color is much better. Also, don't include fully loaded presentation boards, but try to decompose them. Third, animate your images without overdoing it. So animation is good, but not too much animation. But animation lets people not be so bored during your presentation. Have a clean aesthetic. Pick 2 typographies, 2 types of colors, maybe a highlight color, and that is it. And finally, zooming in only in detailed information, right? So don't have all the detailed information in one plan condensed, but zoom in and show what you want to show, what you want to emphasize on. So that was it, guys. Those were my tips for this new kind of lifestyle that we have right now and that we're gonna have to adapt to a little bit, which is not bad, but it just makes us create different things in different ways and adapt it to different mediums. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in a next video. Bye. So also, if you have any other tips or recommendations for online presentations, please comment them down below. Which one would you think it would be helpful for everyone to know? And if you have had any embarrassing moments, also comment it down below, because we have all had embarrassing moments in our Zoom meetings and on Google Meet meetings, everything. That is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in a next video. Bye.